Hi everybody, it's Momma. I'm just checking the video quality on this tablet I just have. And it's terrible. And it can't pick up the lighting in my room. My phone would have done a way better job than this. Sorry I've been absent in this thing for a couple of weeks. It's actually been really rough. I basically had bronchitis, I want to say for about 3 weeks, in addition to having a wonky schedule at work for end of the year stuff. And when I was finally getting better from the bronchitis, and I mean, the worst part is because I'm immunosuppressed, it takes me longer to get over something, and it's way rougher. But this bronchitis is like nothing like any other bronchitis I've had before, even post-autoimmune diagnosis. I was violently coughing, it was almost like the contractions from coughing were the same as labor pains. It was bad. So I was starting to I finally started feeling better, and the cough was coming under control. And then the smoke from Canada happened and floated down to my part of this New York State. And even masked and everything, it just irritated my throat so bad, all the coughing started up again. And then I'm allergic to menthol medicines, and my poor hubby had to constantly run out and get me more cough syrup to deal with the coughing and to suppress it. And unfortunately, 90% of all cough medicines have menthol in it to help alleviate the symptoms for the throat. And I can't take that. And there was one point where my hubby was like, well, it's in the inactive ingredients. I'm sure you'll be fine. That means there's way less. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, well, I can't go back out to the store. The store's closed now, and you need something. So, what's the worst can happen? I take the Robitussin, I go to sleep, and my throat ended up like a bullfrog. It was, terrible. So I took Benadryl and then passed out. And I was also on gabapentin, so it's double downers. I was just just make sure I don't stop breathing, it'll be fine. I was coughing so much the whole night, it didn't really matter. But the thing was, we couldn't get more Robitussin. There's this Robitussin with elderberry. First off, tastes like a wine. It's not a flavor for everybody. My sister didn't care for it. But there's no menthol in it. So that was actually the best one for me to have. But when I had to take the Robitussin with the menthol in it, I had to take Benadryl with it, so I could only take it at night, and it's got a whole experience. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. Something interrupted. I heard him coming. I like doing these without anybody around, because then I get the peanut gallery talking, and they take over. Or if my parents are around, they tend to criticize, so. A bit of a narcissistic family. Everybody has their narcissistic traits, but, some are less tolerable than others. My hubby, being a peanut gallery, is actually trying to make me and others laugh, and he gets enjoyment out of that. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, the Robitussin endeavor. This is funny. So, the week of my dance show, my ear started to feel like an ear infection, full blown. And I think my son started with one, and it really didn't amplify till Friday. We had photo day on Tuesday. I figured cough my lungs out, whatever. Thursday, Friday, we had dress rehearsals. And I was on my usual medication, ibuprofen and everything, but I didn't really take Robitussin because I didn't want to take it until nighttime. Because the other issue is the only Robitussin my hubby could find that didn't have menthol at the time was children's nighttime Robitussin. And he's like, well, then you could take a lesser dose more frequently throughout the day, and I think that'll help your throat better. It did. But hold on. So, dress rehearsal Thursdays and Fridays, hacking my lungs out from backstage, and I'm like, I can't do this backstage during the show. This is going to be so awful an experience, because not only am I hacking my lungs out, and I'm trying to quick change all these kids, specifically my nephew. He had 9 quick changes, ridiculous. But I'm coughing on them, and I can't wear a mask because then I feel like I actually can't breathe because of the bronchitis has basically made me temporarily asthmatic. I still have residual effects, but it's mostly this one part of my throat is so raw, it's kind of like tickling into a coughing response. So I don't actually have bronchitis, it's just that one part of my throat is just so raw, it's igniting a coughing fit. But anywho, so I was like, I have to take the Robitussin. How am I going to survive this? Because I had to wake up 7:30 in the morning to get my son up and ready. He actually got up on his own. Very proud of him. He took a bath. He ate breakfast. He did everything he was supposed to do with little to no pushing. You know, very proud of him. And I got him ready, and I'm shooting back the Robitussin because I'm like, I'm going to be up and moving. I'm probably not going to get drowsy this time. If you want to compare it to anything, you ever seen like a Western movie where there's always that one cowboy that's got a whiskey flask and is constantly taking drinks? That was me with the Robitussin. And there was this one long break between the two shows where the sleepy time part of the medicine really started to hit. And because we're in between shows for about an hour and a half, I had no adrenaline kick going, so I had nothing to combat the sleepiness. So I'm just laying there on the ground, eyeballs up at the ceiling, and I'm just like, don't sleep, don't take a nap, don't close your eyes, don't fall asleep, because I knew if I took a nap, I'd be done. So we survived. I survived. All the kids did amazingly well. I was very, very proud of them. I will say I don't think any of my kids actually follow me on this, but if my older ones do, the Mistake Waltz was by far the crowd favorite. By far. Like, they liked a whole bunch of the other stuff, but, like, if they had to choose one above all, it was the Mistake Waltz. They really loved that. And my hubby's just thoroughly impressed. He doesn't know shit about dance. He doesn't know poop about dance. But he says every year we outdo ourselves again and again and again. Either with, like, whatever topic we're trying to do, or just the skills themselves. He's just seeing the kids grow and just get better and better every year. My little Fairyland dance, which I made leprechaun hats for. I gotta post that video sometime soon. But they were cute as anything. They were so adorable. My nephew and his classmate Elizabeth did great in their Sherlock number. My hubby was actually upset that it wasn't longer. I'm just like, I can't make it much longer with just the two of them. That'd be too much. They were exhausted by that point because they already did Thomas had already done a demo and then a ballet number, and now he's doing a jazz number. And then my poor nephew had to then jump into a tap number and then jump into, oh my god, a modern piece, and then he jumped into another acting and then modern. I don't remember what it was, but these were all the ones he did. Acting and then modern, and then he did another ballet piece, which was another crowd pleaser, I Am Adolfo. Oh my god, everybody loved that. I could hear them cracking up from backstage. He milked that role for all it was worth. I'm so proud of him for doing that. And then, of course, he had one more acting scene, and then the finale dance, which all the kids do. And that was just one show for him. Thankfully, the other two shows, he only had to do one or two numbers, which is fine. My son, he did ballet, jazz, and acting, and hip-hop. Him and his cousin do the hip-hop number. The hip-hop number was interesting. That was Capulet versus Montagues. The whole story behind that. But anyways, they all died at the end. The older girls totally forgot about that, so when they saw that happen at the backstage, they're like, they all died just now? And I'm like, yeah, just like in the real Romeo and Juliet. Everybody dies at the end. They thought it was hysterical. I had them bite their thumbs at each other. There were like tiny little references throughout the piece to Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet. It was great. But anyways, I'm hitting my 10-minute mark, but that's why I haven't been on. I've essentially had been like, best way I could describe it is, theoretically dying, and I had no voice half the time. And this is actually a sweet moment. In the height of my bronchitis, and not even like the actively sick part, but like getting over it and you're hacking everything out, I warned my little ones that I'm not going to have a loud voice. I can't keep yelling over them. They have to get their voices down, blah, 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 during class. And so finally, they were like, don't worry, Miss Carr, we'll talk for you. And I'm like, what do we mean? So we start doing warm-up, and sure enough, Lucy, God bless her, she actually just started saying all the key words that I would normally say during warm-up, like right, middle, left, middle, and head, up, down, say yes, say no. Oh, God, it was so funny. And it really speaks to the testament that kids really do listen to you, and they do pay attention to what you're doing, and it really will surprise you when they show it. So, and they basically, I reached the point where I'm like, I'm talking like this. I really couldn't talk. So the other little girl, Lily, would be like, hold on, guys. This car is talking. Hold on. She says, and she'll repeat whatever I said. It was so funny. Oh, my goodness. But these kids are fantastic. And it's stuff like this that just really makes me so happy that I'm a teacher with them. So, talk to you guys soon, and hopefully I'll have some more shorts up, like crafting, or mostly the cleaning. You guys seem to like the cleaning the best, so I'll try to do that more. It's also, I'm out of work now until summer camp, so I have a lot more downtime. I can get more done, thankfully, and I'm not diseased now, so we're going to push through, and I'm going to get this laundry and stuff folded and put away that I'm laying on top of because it's nice and toasty warm out of the dryer. It's a little thing. Bye, guys.